What's up, Cowboy Nation? Want to be able to talk to you guys. We're here live, and I've been looking at some players, man. Really do. I've been looking at some players that I know for sure that down the line that we probably can utilize in the draft or what have you. But let me talk about our current roster right now. Let me talk about them as it relates to like the safety play. I was live earlier on my on my Instagram, and we was talking about safety play and what would you pick as far as Landon Collins, or would you go with the Earl Thomas? And I was talking about, man, look here, you got to go with the wisdom. You got to go with the person who already earned their keeps out here in the NFL, and that will be the Earl Thomases of the world. I know that youth always prevails, but the last, I done spilled coffee over everything, but the last time we had a dynamic safety, and I'm not going to bring up Roy Williams. The last time we had a dynamic, I'm talking about a wonderful safety, was Darren Woodson. That's been a long, many of moons ago, right? As a matter of fact, that's a Jimmy Johnson pick. Let's let you know how long it's been since we had a dynamic safety. And I'm not saying that, hey, Earl Thomas would be that guy that's going to put this team on the moon or what have you. No. But what I'm saying is, go back into your mind and look up this right here. What was Charles Woodson able to do for the Green Bay Packers? Wait. What's up, people? My wife called. So, hey, this is the thing. It's always like that, right? When you go live, then everybody want to call you. But this is the thing. I hope you guys are still here. Hope you guys are still live into the mix, man. But I want to say this before she called back and asked me another thing. The last time we had a dynamic safety was Darren Woodson, and that was from the Jimmy Johnson's tree. So, in order for us to elevate this thing, in order for us to get things going in the proper ways, in the proper light, we have to figure out ways. We definitely going to have to figure out ways to get a dynamic safety into this thing. And the only way that I can say that can happen would be for us to go out there and grab an Earl Thomas. I understand what Landon Collins can do. I saw Landon Collins get burnt like toast all last year, but maybe he just wasn't feeling the mojo. Maybe he wasn't feeling the deal. But what I'm saying is collectively, is that when you have somebody like a quote unquote, let me make sure that I'm still alive. Somebody give me a thumbs up if I'm still alive, because I don't know whether or not I'm still alive or not. Let me see if I can pause this thing right quick and see if I'm still alive. Appreciate you guys. Let me see. Yeah, I'm still alive, right? Still alive, right? Yeah, I'm still alive. Good. Appreciate it. You know, when you get a phone call, man, it's just how it happened. All right, so what I want to do here is talk to you guys just a little bit about that. When you have a chance to get that dynamic player, what I was talking about with Charles Woodson, there were people out there saying that he was washed up, he was trash, he was no good, he had no business of picking him up, Green Bay Packers. I think he had a DUI or something like that too. Charles Woodson was able, when he got onto that Green Bay Packers team, and I'm going to go ahead and put this out there, of course, he didn't play in that Super Bowl. But how many rings do Aaron Rodgers have? I'll wait. He was able to elevate the people to his right, the people to his left of him. That's what Charles Woodson was able to do for the Green Bay Packers. He was able to bring in that type of temperament, that type of tenacity to that particular team. What I'm saying is, if you can go ahead and look at the interception ratio or whatever tackles that we have with our safeties, look up the numbers and look up the stats what Earl Thomas had. He didn't even play all the games last year, and he was still able to elevate that particular team. So what I'm saying is, collectively, we need to figure out ways to put a dynamic, explosive safety out there on our backfield, because what it would do, it would help out the Xavier Woods. If you go back and listen to some of the players that played on the Green Bay Packers team that year, when Charles Woodson was able to get there, they were saying, look, Charles Woodson was able to elevate us by giving us examples on how to crash down on that particular angle. What the offense is trying to do and what we can't take away from this particular defense. What I'm saying is that's what Earl Thomas can bring to the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to be able to say, okay, hey, shorten your stance on this particular route. You need to be able to come a little bit closer, squeeze in a little bit closer to the line off of this particular package. When they're in our formation, I want you to widen your hips and I want you to explode to the edge. I already know what the grand master plan with Chris Richard. And guess what, Cowboy Nation? We love what Chris Richard was able to bring to this team as it relates to his first year. You can only imagine what he can do his second. Whoo, that would be nice. That would be nice. He will be able to do that for us, Cowboy Nation. Now, we talked about that just a little bit with Earl Thomas. Now, the players that's out there that I looked at, and hopefully I'll have time today to break down this particular film. I compiled and I got these things all ready to go, locked, loaded, and ready to go. I just got to do the voiceover on that particular video now that I edited and I got everything ready to go. Of this guy, Taylor Rapp. Nice. Explosive. Fly out to the ball. Pursuit. Chase. Crash down. Not afraid to tackle. Well out in space. Got a little range on him. Got a little range. Enforcer. I'm telling you, I don't think that he's going to make it all the way to the second round. Cowboys will have to trade up and move up just a little bit to get this guy, Taylor Rapp. And then on top of that, I was able to look up a little film on this guy right here. I was able to look up on this guy from Mississippi State, Hell State. I was able to look him up. Where you at, boo? Come here. There you go. Yeah, I was able to look up Jonathan Abram. Similar to Taylor Rapp. He's physical. Crash down. He's more so that you're going to put him as the strong safety. And then you can see the Xavier Woods blossom just a little bit because with Jonathan, he's going to be the enforcer out there. Very, 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 very intellectual as it relates to what the defense that he's on are trying to do and what the offense, he can actually explode, bust through the actual screenplays. That's his ability. Strong, physical, take good angles at times. I'm telling you, now he don't have the range per se of a Taylor Rapp, nor of the Adderley kid that's from the I forgot the name, North Dakota, whatever that school is, a little small school. But that's the one thing that scares me too. I will have to wait till the combines to really see what Adderley numbers is as it relates to like the other players out there, and then on top of that, see how he play against better, stronger competition too. Although we can see with our eyes that the Adderley kid, named Sir Adderley, the boy can fly out to the ball. He can got great coverage space. But to me, the better all-around safeties that's out there will be the Taylor Rapps of the world and the Jonathan. If you want that arm and hammer type of look. Why you say that, Law? Because those guys fit the bill and the motif that Chris Richard is trying to paint and capture out there for this defense. So that's just on the defensive side of the ball. Law, why you talking defense? I love to talk to myself in third person because this is the thing. Defense win what? Championships. It do. Defense win championships. Next, we're going to talk about this right here. We talking about defensive front four now. The Dexter Lawrences of the world. Those guys that you can plug into the inside. But you don't really have to go and invest in that. You can go out there and get a Gerald McCoy. Law, what are you talking about? Look, let me tell you about Gerald McCoy. I look back at the LA Rams, and I look back during this season, during this season, everybody was talking about, oh, Ndamukong Suh, he's washed up, he's trash. You can believe that. People in Miami were saying, oh man, the guy is just garbage. He's a team D-builder. He don't build up nobody on nobody's team. No. When you got a defense, they got a Malik Collins, got a D. Lawrence, got a Randy Gregory, Got a Dorrance Armstrong. Don't forget about his next year. He's going to develop even a little bit better. Antoine Barbecue Woods. We love what we saw out there on his tape. Can you imagine if Antoine was just a rotational guy? Those bursts of plays that we was able to see. Those bursts of plays we was able to see. Man, it would be so much better. It would be so much better if we had a solid guy that we can plug into the inside. I love what David Irvin was able to do, but he just can't get his mind together. He don't have the mental mindset. He don't have that part of his game is just horrible, right? Off the field issues. But if we can figure out ways, because I don't know, the NFL may still suspend about 5 to 10 games, something like that in between, because he had failed to show up for another drug testing. David Irvin is a lost call at this point. We shouldn't build our house on sand anyway, right? That's David Irvin. His house is built on sand. And then he can't even pay that because he's failed to do crazy stuff with his money, and he can't pay his money and things like that. Neither here nor there. We got to look at it from this aspect. You get somebody with knowledge. I'm talking about Gerald McCoy. You plug him into the inside, forces the double team. You can free up D-Law. Once D-Law freed up, you'll see him eat. You will see the Randy Gregorys of the world eat. So you look at those two things on this thing. A lot of people want to know why power is so important. A lot of people want to know how strength is so important. A lot of people want to know, why do everybody want to seek power? And why does energy is so important? I said this a little bit earlier for those who was watching me live on the Instagram. Don't do no spoiler alert. The reason why power is so important is strength and energy. It's because it cannot be created nor destroyed. And the only way you can obtain that type of situation is through knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. When you have somebody like Earl Thomas, he has the wisdom and knowledge to create that power to elevate everybody on his team. When you have that wisdom and understanding and strength and power, you have the knowledge of the Gerald McCoys to plug them into the inside, collapse that pocket, make the quarterback think even faster to throw that ball away. When you draft well, when you have the Byron Jones, the Cheeto Awuzie, or if you go out there and you go grab a taller physical safety / corner who can play into the inside, this defense can be nasty. Nasty. A lot of people want to look back at this and say, hey, how in the world did Ray Lewis, an undersized linebacker, make it to the Hall of Fame? He was undersized. But baby, when you go back and look at the tape, that boy had lines, free holes to run through. And you know how? You want to know how? Big Sam Madison, Tony Saragusa, them big boys. I know they're 3-4 defense, different type of style of defense, but still, Ray was the inside linebacker. Jersey was able to stay clean. Fly out to the ball pursuit like nobody else. They used that same philosophy for years. You build dogs and hogs up front, and I'm going to tell you right now, as much as people love the LA Rams defense as it relates to the front four, their linebackers don't even come close to Jalen Smith or an LVE. You put some good dogs and some big bodies up front, boy, I'm telling you, them boys will be able to fly, chase to the ball, keep their jersey pads and everything clean. That disengagement, if you go back and look at Ray Lewis scouting tape and you go tell me, I'm going to tell you guys his flaws. Disengaging, smaller linebacker. Don't have the physical strength to get off his release and jams. They didn't have to worry about that through his career. They was able to draft around him and create things to help him out through his luxurious career. And of course, he was just a dog, nasty, straight, wheeled attack to the ball. Yes, he had those type of things. But Ray would have been washed up if he didn't have those big boys in front. I'm just speaking the truth with you guys. These are not my opinions. These are facts. We can improve this defense. We can get more takeaways, turnovers that way. With knowledge, We already talked about wisdom. They're going to create power and strength. That's just how the world works. Yes. So let me talk about this running back situation. This is my final topic for the hour. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all for being part of this thing. Another comment that was brought up on the Instagram, they said, Law, why not go out there and grab a Kareem Hunt? When I talked about the aspect of Greg Hardy, when we went out there and we grabbed the Greg Hardy, a lot of people were saying that, hey, Greg Hardy did those things while he was with Dallas, for those who casually watch sport. And I was like, no, that happened over there in Carolina. See, Carolina was able to escape from all of the pressure by getting rid of him. They kept that brother on the team for a whole entire year on the commissioner's exemption list. So what I'm saying is collectively that we're not able to handle that type of PR scheme. I guess PR nightmare. We already know that the NFL is rigged in so many factors and they need to sell visuals. So that's why we can't pick up a Kareem Hunt. For one, our coaching staff is not strong enough. For two, our PR is going to be hit. And then for three, there's going to be some crazy, because he's going to put on the silver and blue, crazy suspension. We're not able to absorb all that. I like the Darrell Hendersons of the world. I like the Boise State guy, Alexander Madison. We pick up somebody like that, that will help out the defense, believe it or not, on the running back side of the ball, because what that do is that now you have time of possession. With time of possession, what happens with time of possession is that your defense is rested. Ezekiel Elliott, if he split his carries, just like Mark Ingram was able to do down there in New Orleans, split his carries with Calvin Kamara, whatever you say, man, Alvin Kamara. Boy, so by him being able to split his time of possession, split his time of reps out there, split everything, he was fresh. I still think that with Ezekiel Elliott, who's a better runner than both of those guys in New Orleans, you put him in as not a rotational guy, but as a front-heavy running back, and then you sprinkle in one of those guys who can be a change of pace. I love what Ross Smith can do, but Ross Smith is not going to give Ezekiel Elliott a great spell. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm thinking is collectively is that now that if you have one of those guys that can come into the mix and help out this young team, it'll benefit the defense. It'll benefit the offense. It'll make more explosive plays. If we can average anywhere from 27 and 28 points a game, and then on top of that with our defense, whoo! That's crazy, man. That's crazy. It can flat foot happen, Cowboy Nation. It will. Appreciate you, everybody, for tuning in. So what I talked about today is you go out there and you get that one veteran free agent, or you make a move or a power play of Gerald McCoy. If you do not do those things, if the Cowboys still go out there and grab a Landon Collins, it still will benefit us in so many ways too. Or if they go and say, okay, we're going to keep Antoine Barbecue Woods and we're just going to go through drafting aspect and we're going to release all of our old situations like the David Irvins of the world and bring in somebody who loves football, who just don't like it but love it, that will help out our team as it relates to, okay, Dorrance Armstrong, the Taco Charltons of the world. It'll create a little bit better morale. Meaning that now we're having guys out here that's on the field who's not given a position, who earned everything that's out there. And I would rather have that taste in my mouth opposed to, oh, David Irvin, he's number 95, he's great, let's just throw him out there. So, and I talked about maybe we go draft an inside guy, like a Juan Thornhill or Chauncey. Maybe we go do something like that as it relates to DB. Physical height, that's what the drafting trend been. A physical, tall type of defensive guys, what we've been going after. So if we look at all those things, what I've said, it can help out this team tremendously. Yes, a huge one tech, yes, that will help out tremendously. Let me know of your thoughts. Let me know of your opinions of everything, Cowboy Nation. One way or another, we're going to have to get this thing going. I've been looking at tons of players. Hopefully, I can have time tonight to bring them players out there to the forefront as it relates to film. That's my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Peace.